So let's just take a deep breath and bring us into this space. Welcome. I'm Dianu from Water, and I'm here tonight with, let's see, Annalie, put us on full screen for just a minute so I can have Pamela wave. Pamela just graduated from Wesley Seminary, so congratulations to her with her master's in divinity. Lisa, where are you on the screen? There we are. Lisa, who's with us from Germany in the Irani program, and she has 6 more weeks with us. So she'll be with us for the next ritual, but it's been a great year. Anna Lee, couldn't do anything without you when it comes to this, so welcome always. That's it for the water staff tonight. And of course, greetings to you from Mary Hunt. So now let me go ahead and do the official welcome to tonight's, as we celebrate Juneteenth, honoring Opal Lee's legacy. And some of you heard me say earlier, this is a premiere. This is written for tonight. This is the first time it's been celebrated. As we begin as always with a land acknowledgement. Water is situated on the land of the Piscataway and Anacostan people, who are the indigenous peoples of the land on which you sit. We honor their legacy as we celebrate Juneteenth tonight, and as we anticipate the summer solstice, which is coming on the 20th, a little bit later in the evening. For tonight, we focus Black activist Opal Lee, who even knew her name. She did get the Medal of Freedom from President Biden, but I must say, I learned a whole lot as we planned this. Opal Lee is the grandmother of Juneteenth, and she envisioned June 19th as a holiday to celebrate emancipation of all people. Thanks to her persistence, her mission was a success. The 49th president of the United States, and if you know that name, it's Joe Biden, he signed this historic legislation on June 17th, 2021, and Opal Lee was present when he signed it. We'll see her video a little bit later to get to know her. And on May 3rd, 2024, the 97-year-old Opal Lee received the Medal of Freedom from President Biden. Think about what you're going to do between now and 97. So today, Juneteenth is a federal holiday that commemorates the ending of slavery in the United States. It also celebrates the faith, resilience, and hopefulness of the people who were enslaved. Juneteenth, also called Jubilee Day, Emancipation Day, Freedom Day, and America's Second Independence Day, commemorates the announcement of the Emancipation Proclamation in Galveston, Texas on June 19th, 1865, to 25,000 enslaved people. It celebrates Black joy and American hope, the promise of freedom and equality. To join in that celebration, let's listen to "Oh Freedom." This post-1865 song was an anthem of the civil rights movement and was made popular by the human rights activist and singer Odetta. I grew up listening to Odetta, who was often referred to as the voice of the civil rights movement. She sang "Oh Freedom" at the March on Washington in 1963, and she inspired Joan Baez, who'll sing it for us now.
Oh, There's no more kneeling, no more kneeling, no more kneeling over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. And there's no more moaning, no more moaning, no more moaning over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. And it's oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Go home to my Lord and be free.
God of many names, you created each of us, all peoples and nations in your image. On this Juneteenth, as we celebrate freedom, grant us the grace and courage to resist slavery, human bondage, and racism in every form. Strengthen us to use our freedoms to bring about justice and equality for all. We beg you, let freedom ring from generation to generation. Amen. Blessed be. May it be so.
Opal Lee's story. Although Opal Lee has seen and experienced a lot of history, her life has been defined by one date, June 19th. She was born in Marshall, Texas in 1926 as a descendant from slaves. In 1939, her family moved to a predominantly white neighborhood of Fort Worth, neighborhood in Texas. The night they moved in their new home, an angry white mob vandalized their house and burnt it down. Opal and her family escaped and ran for shelter with a friend a few blocks away. After graduating from her county's only Black high school, she received a Bachelor of Arts in Elementary Education from Wiley College and a Master of Arts in Counseling and Guidance from North Texas State University. She has 4 children from a young marriage, whom she worked multiple small jobs to support them, including as a teacher at an elementary school. She continued her corporate career as a homeschool counselor and as an educator for the Fort Worth Independent School District. When she retired, she delved deeper into social activism and was active in many community causes, like the founding of the Tarrant County Black Historical and Genealogical Society. Later, she started an advocacy walk from Texas to Washington, D.C., with a goal of gathering 100,000 signatures to petition for Juneteenth to become a public holiday. She walked 2.5 miles at the beginning of each walk, and that was to symbolize the 2.5 years it took for the Emancipation Proclamation to reach Texas. She ended the walk in DC with 1.5 million signatures. Because of Opal's work, Congress passed the legislation to make Juneteenth a public holiday, and she was later awarded Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Opal Lee, I'm noted as a grandmother of Juneteenth. Oh, listen, I tell you, so many people are responsible for my getting this medal. Not just me, but people who wanted freedom for everyone. Not just Black people, not just Texans. Freedom, and I keep saying over and over, from the 19th of June to the 4th of July, we should celebrate freedom. My mother did so many things, and she wanted so much for us. Oh, she did, and she did everything under the sun she could to make them citizens that not only she'd be proud of, but everybody else would too.
Pouring libation. The libation ceremony is a way of honoring ancestors in African cultures, African traditional religions, and many others. We will offer a libation by pouring drops of fresh water onto a living plant to remember those who have struggled for freedom. After each pouring, our response is MsHoney. This Yoruba word means creative power, or amen, which means so be it. In the spirit of remembrance, we pour this libation 7 times throughout the ritual tonight. With this first pouring, we acknowledge the divine source of many names in all nations, MsHoney.
Second pouring. With the second pouring, we acknowledge the generations that fought, died, and led us to freedom from slavery, persecution, Jim Crow laws, and civil rights abuses. MsHoney.
With the third pouring, we honor our ancestors like Opal Lee, who have made this day possible. Ashe.
Again, this is the official Juneteenth poem, and it is entitled, We Rose. From Africa's heart we rose, already a people, our faces ebon, our bodies lean, we rose. Skills of art, life, beauty, and family, crushed by forces we know nothing of, we rose. Survive we must, we did, we rose. We rose to be we rose to be me above everything expected, we rose. To become the knowledge we never knew, we rose. Dream we did, act we must.
With the fourth pouring, we admire the strength and persistence that allowed people of color to rise and keep rising today, despite all they encountered. Ashe.
We the people. We the people live in a less than perfect union that accuses the vulnerable and never the top class and race. When children are illegal and intolerance bans humans, I wonder who we the people are in the first place. We the people meant all lives matter, but are white lives living a coincidence when, if you're not male or pale, you get destroyed for demonstrating dissidence? When the color of his skin gives a killer assumed innocence, but still we will rise up, advocate, and activate with the people's diligence. Let's speak names to we the people, so they are not lost in executive orders lines. Protect them from prick of tweet, pen, bullet, or steeple. Study our spines to keep making signs and reading the signs. It's hectic, apocalyptic, the skeptics, but we can be united. For what makes America great is diversity and democracy reignited. In excitement, they call for an indictment, but I think 4 years are far too far-sighted. What can the enlightened do now for the blighted so wrongs are righted? We, the people, are brave enough to love this country's creed. We, the people, love this country enough to question its misdeeds. We, the people, question enough to build upon this foundation. We, the people, erect an improved hilltop of a nation indivisible by where we come from or who we are born. We, the people, are those who let freedom ring. So, no matter who we love, talk, pray, or mourn, this America too is ours to build and ours to sing.
With this fifth pouring, we honor the future generations who question, challenge, and let freedom ring. Ashe.
Hit 'em a little, hate up, hit 'em, madam, hit 'em a little, hate up, hit 'em, hit 'em a little, hate up, hit 'em, madam, hit 'em a little, hate up, hit 'em, I don't know how my mother walked her trouble down. I don't know how my father
Juneteenth. What does Juneteenth mean to you? How does Opal Lee's story motivate you to follow your dreams and seek change? These are 2 questions, and of course you have many others inside of you, I'm sure, after listening to all that was presented tonight. So let's just open our hands and offer all these prayers and all these people and all those who need prayers, whose names we don't even know. Ashe.
Sharing and celebration of food and drink. For the blessing of food and drink, take a cup of tea, your fruit, or your red velvet cake in your hand and stretch it towards the screen in memory of all those who suffered racial oppression at the hands of ignorant people. Blessed are you, Creator and Sustainer God, who made all people in your image, casting them in different shades and skin tones. Bless these red foods and drinks that we partake of, which signifies the African people's bloodshed and resilience. We thank you for nurturing, sustaining, and preserving this race, and for the spirit of perseverance and the will to live, forgive, and love all people with whom you have blessed them. Holy God, we give you thanks as we share in the memory and love of the oppressed and move towards fully acknowledging that all people are made in your image and are equal in your sight. Amen.
As we pour this 6th libation, with the 6th pouring, we acknowledge the work that has been done thus far, and we remain committed to continuing the work of dismantling systemic oppression against all people. Ashe.
Now let us go forward and honor Juneteenth and Opal Lee's legacy by taking action. You can support Black American-led and Black American-serving campaigns. Here's a list of initiatives and actions you might consider. You can educate yourself further on racial justice issues by going to a museum dedicated to or involving African American history. Join racial justice talks and symposiums. Stand in for voting rights protections by signing petitions and giving money to organizations dealing with this issue. Advocate for police reforms that demand to make police interventions more transparent, better supervised, and thus safer for people of color. Support alternative first responder agencies for addiction and mental health interventions. Donate to legal defense funds for wrongly convicted Black Americans. Provide educational materials and services for Black Americans behind bars. Volunteer at a local food pantry or secondhand shop supporting the well-being of socially deprived people of color. Or read up on the life and work of Opal Lee. Opal Lee and What It Means to Be Free by Alice Faye Duncan recounts the quest for freedom as seen through the eyes of the leader of the movement to make Juneteenth a federal holiday.
The seventh pouring. With the seventh pouring, we give thanks for those who continue to lead struggles for freedom today and for those who will be prophetic tomorrow. Let's be sure to include ourselves. Ashe.
Let's send one another forth, remembering the words of Opal Lee. And she said, remember my words for safekeeping. Remember what I say. Juneteenth is bigger than Texas, singing or dancing hands. Juneteenth is freedom rising, and freedom is for everyone. Juneteenth is you and me.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the glistening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till as one.